Shoulders are trying to lift, so pull them down the back. Look towards your right, up, so floating the hands up. A lot of people will just... Welcome to our video today, and we are going to focus on a little bit of a neck release, a little bit of neck and shoulder stretching. I've got a lovely little relaxation planned. Not so much, it's a bit of a passive stretch, so we get to have a bit of a relax, just allow the chest to open. So that is going to be our focus for today, the neck and shoulders. So especially if you drive a lot, you're sitting at a computer all day, breastfeeding, anything where your body's in that kind of position, this is going to be perfect for you. So we'll start first with just a little bit of shoulder mobility. So just moving the shoulders basically. I have a very light resistance band. You can use a towel if you want to, or nothing. You don't have to use any equipment. So let's just start with our feet hip width apart and introducing some shoulder circles or shoulder rolls. So we're going to pull the shoulders forward, take them up to the ears, to the wall behind you and down. So I'm just going to turn to the side. So standing nice and tall, shoulders forward, up, back and down. So try not to overthink it. I suppose what can go wrong with this one is that people will use their elbows. So if you really think of a skeleton, it's the shoulder joint that's moving forward. The shoulder joint is moving up. Shoulder joint is moving back and it's dropping down. That's all we are doing. Okay. So we're just introducing a little bit of movement into the chest, into the shoulder joint, ready for some of the stuff that we're going to do in a bit. So I tend not to do circles that way because I find we're already in that shape. So I find that just is encouraging it. So I tend not to do the front circles. Good. And then we'll come back to the center. Lovely. Now you can grab your piece of equipment. So if you haven't got it, it doesn't matter. The band just adds in a little bit of resistance. So the band is in front. So this is a very loose, a very light resistance band. It's not a hard one. If you have only got one resistance band and it's quite a hard one, then just have a wider grip so it loosens it a little bit. So my palms are facing forward. This is called chest expanders. From here, I'm going to keep the palms facing forward and I'm taking the palms back first. Okay? So standing tall, I'm going to start to take the palms back first. So my palms are still facing the front. Now I'm going to turn my palms so they're facing outwards. So that's called external rotation, and it helps to open up the chest. And I'm trying to squeeze my shoulder blades together and then bring it back in again. So palms stay facing the front. I'm going to reach my hands back, good little tricep thing, you know, your bingo wings, lovely little exercise for that. Now I'm turning my palms outwards, trying to squeeze my hands together behind me. Now I'm going to look to the left. Hold it there. Look to the right. That side's a lot harder. Come back to center and then release. I like to have a little jiggle in between. So this time we're going to send our head the other way first. So hands go back, open up those arms. So we externally rotate the hands, they're facing outwards. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. I can feel my shoulders are trying to lift, so pull them down the back. Look towards your right, look towards the left, come back to center, release. So we're just going to do maybe two more on each side. So arms go back, external rotation. Open up, squeeze the shoulder blades, drop the shoulders. Looking to the left, looking to the right, and down. This is one of Joseph Pilates' reformers. So he's got a big machine called a reformer. And this is one of the reformer exercises. Look to the right, look to the left, center, and down. So not my favorite exercise. We're going to do one more. Try and squeeze those shoulder blades and drop them. Looking to the right, looking to the left. Come back to center. And last one. Looking to the left. Keep squeezing those shoulder blades, keep dropping them down, come back. Good. And then release. Whew. So I think I've got a hot flush on my way. So relax your band down. You can have a couple of shoulder rolls again. So now what we're going to do, I'm going to turn to the side. I'm going to turn my head to the left. Now from here, I'm going to look up. Doesn't feel very nice. Then I'm going to come back to the center and I'm going to look down. And come back to center and up. So I really like using equipment and walls to give feedback. So now I'm going to take my left ear to left shoulder. So my shoulder blade's against the wall, back of my head is against the wall. Right ear to right shoulder. Now can I keep my head against the wall as I look up? And I'm feeling that all down this part. Now I'm going to look down. Oh. Come back to center and up. Reset, give a little jiggle. Left ear to left shoulder. So my head's against the wall. Keeping the head against the wall. So it's actually, the wall's going to be touching the side of the head. So looking up. And you can see I'm so much more tighter on this side. I can't go any more on this side. Looking down. And then middle and up. We'll take it to the right side. So right ear to right shoulder. Looking up or looking down. Center and up. So we're just going to do one more on each side. So left ear to left shoulder, looking ahead first. Now I'm going to gaze up. That's feeling a little bit better. Now check to make sure that your right shoulder hasn't lifted or moved forward. Keep it against the wall or imaginary wall. Take it down. And I can feel myself tilting a little bit. Center. Good. And then last one to your right side. Right ear to right shoulder, gazing up, gazing down, center, and up. Good. So give yourself a little nod again. So we're going to come on to chin tucks. So often when we're doing exercises in Pilates, we start with a chin tuck, so that we can encourage length in the back of the neck. So when we come to do roll downs, we don't just throw our head forward. We do a chin tuck first. And most people nowadays need a lot of stretching in the back of the neck, and a chin tuck is fantastic for that. So in this position, my shoulders are back and down, and I'm gazing straight ahead of me. So what most people would do is they'll drop the head down. Okay? What we're going to do is send your chin backward. So I'm trying to get my chin to where my ear is. So what we're actually trying to do is take the curve out of the neck. And then release. Have another little jiggle. Breath in. And then reverse the car into the garage is what we say. But I often catch myself doing that. So again, keep those shoulders back and down. And if you are at work or anywhere, you can do this at your desk. So a really good place to do it is when you stopped at traffic lights and your handbrake is on, not while you're driving, and you wait for the traffic lights, get your head against the headrest, and you can do this there. I often do this when I'm driving. Doesn't look very sexy. So give the shoulders a little shrug, breath in. And then reverse your car into the garage. And then release it. So we're trying to take that curve. So I'm going to exaggerate this. So what we're trying to do is there's a really big curve in the cervical neck over there, in the neck. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to take it and lengthen it. And that's going to help stretch off some of the neck muscles that come from there into the shoulder blades that cause headaches. So we'll just do a couple more. Like I said, they don't feel very nice. Shoulders back and down. And I can honestly feel this right down my arms. Good. So, we're going to go on to floating arms, and this is more about just educating you about your shoulders and how the muscles in the shoulders work and how they are not meant to be working. So what we're going to focus on is keeping the shoulders down as much as we can. So this is called floating arms. Hands are going to come up towards the side. Now, for most people, what happens is they'll start to lift the shoulders and then lift the arms. Whereas what we actually want to do, the shoulders want to be down as you float the hands up. And it's only when you get to here that these muscles should kick in. But these muscles are bully muscles, and they like to do everything because it's easy for them. And it's easy for the brain, and it's comfortable. So what most people will do, they don't even realize it. So let's just say, for example, you need to reach something on the top shelf, sugar or whatever. They'll do that rather than dropping the shoulder and lifting. Okay, so it's about functional movement, making sure that the muscles are working as they are meant to work. This is what this particular exercise is for. So just from the side, the hands are slightly to the front, so they're not directly in line with the arm. They're slightly in front. So as you come up, I can see my hands out the corner of my eyes now, especially this part. As I start to lift, I'm focusing on how much can I pull the scapulars down the back. And then I'm bringing it down. So if your hands are all the way there, check where your shoulders are. They only want to be here. Think of a tulip. Turn the palms, and then Paul says, imagine you're pushing your hands through treacle. So floating the hands up. A lot of people will just do this. You're not flying. I can feel this underneath the shoulder blades. I can feel it in the top of the arm. If you are doing this properly, you're going to feel it in places. It's like pull those shoulder blades, get those muscles working. Turn the palms, float the hands down, and think of lengthening your neck up as the shoulders come down. Floating arms. We'll just do one more. Again, don't worry about what your feet are doing, providing you're not stood there. Just think of length in your body. And then bring the hands down. Floating arms. Awesome. Good. Like I said, practice that because it's going to help you to learn more about this and switching them off. So we're going to go into what's called a roll down. We're going to use that chin tuck plus the arms. So let me do roll down first, and we'll start from there. So the feet are hip width apart. Now, if it's early in the morning and you're doing this video, you might want to soften your knees just so the back of the legs don't pull too much. If it's end of the day, then maybe have straight legs. So standing nice and tall, relaxing the shoulders back and down. So I want you to really think of length in your body. You want the crown of your head to reach up and up and up and up. Have a shoulder roll to put your shoulders into your back pockets. And then just notice, and just move my hands, that you're not sticking your bum out. So pull your rib cage back and just send the hips forward a little bit. Good. Now, chin tuck first. So we're going to reverse the car into the garage. Take the chin down above the collarbones first. Keep the shoulders back and down. Now, as you breathe out and your tummy is pulling in, you're going to roll down. As far as is comfortable for you, you might want to stop halfway. Pull the tummy in as you come up. I like to have a shoulder roll at the top. So we're going to do a few of them. Breath in. Reverse your car into the garage. Chin tuck. Knees are soft. Now feel in your back. Maybe you only want to go halfway. If your hamstrings here at the back of your legs are screaming, then maybe just have them really bent. If I was working on a hamstring flexibility class where I wanted to stretch off them, then I'd say keep the legs straight, but I'm not focusing on that today. So let's do a few more. Chin tuck, pull the belly button in, roll yourself down, little stretch at the bottom, and then breathe out as you come up. And if you need to inhale, stop, breathe in, and exhale. Because when we're breathing out, we naturally pull in the tummy. Shoulder roll, inhale. Reverse the car into the garage, chin tuck, breathing out. Little stretch at the bottom, hold it there. Now just make sure that your weight is in the middle part of your foot. So if you can lift your toes, your bum's probably bouncing back a little bit too much. So just bring the weight into the front parts of the foot so that you can't lift your toes. Breath in. Exhale as you roll up. So if you need another breath, just stop. Exhale, come up. Now we're going to take it into a floating arms. So start to float your hands up, shoulders down, shoulders down, shoulders down, shoulders down, shoulders down. Turn the palms. Use that bodily resistance as you're pushing your hands through treacle. You know what it's like when you're paddling water in a swimming pool? There's a resistance, and you can create that resistance within your body. And we're going to go back to a roll down. Breath in, chin tuck. We're just going to do one more. Try and keep your head as close to your body as you can, especially if you've ever done yoga and you're used to a flat back going down. We really want to roll the spine. Once you come up, have a shoulder roll. Floating arms, last one. Hands come up. Shoulders down, shoulders down, shoulders down. Again, excellent ones to do in front of a mirror if you have got access. And I know some people hate mirrors, but try and think of you just looking at anatomy rather than how beautiful you are. Good. So that was your roll downs and your floating arms. We're going to come into one of the best parts now. You can use a ball, a Pilates ball. They are worth investing in. You can get them off Amazon or eBay. You just put in Pilates ball, bender ball, because they are naturally squishy. They're not hard, so they're meant to look like a deflated ball. So we're going to lie on this, but if you haven't got a deflated ball, I've got a blanket here, so you can put that in between your shoulder blades. Even some cushions, like maybe you've got cushions on your sofa, you can fold that up and put it in between your shoulder blades. So I'm just going to use this little cushion here because I know sometimes my neck needs a bit of support. So if you have got a ball or whatever you're using, it's going to be in the upper back so that we can open up the chest. And it takes a little bit of wiggling and getting into the right place. And I just want to make sure I don't go off the camera. So just be careful that the ball doesn't come in bottom of the ribs, lower back, because your kidneys are around there. And you don't want to be putting any pressure onto the kidneys. And just putting a little cushion under my head. So the hands are going to be out to the side. Now, what most people do is you can see my chin is really high, and that is going to exacerbate any problems in the back of the neck in terms of the muscles, okay? Because this is the position that our neck is in when we're always looking at computers and stuff. So what I actually want you to do is drop the chin. Think of the chin tuck. Drop the chin down. Doesn't feel very nice. And I actually like to lift my head and move it. So what I do is I put my fingers under my head, so it's like that. And then I lift my head and I tuck and I untuck it so that my fingers are moving away from the neck. So it doesn't feel very nice, but this is what I need specifically for my tight neck. I do spend a lot of time on the computer. And then palms facing up. Now just move your hands to where you can feel a stretch. So I can feel this all along this over here. Oh. Now your legs can either be feet mat width and your knees together. You can have feet together, butterfly legs, or you can just straighten your legs down to the end of the mat. I quite like knees together. And then maybe you can take the arms a little bit higher. And then breathe into the top part of your chest. So we can use the breath to also help facilitate stretching. So if you imagine balloons inside of your rib cage. So the more you can fill the balloons up, the more they're going to expand. When they expand, they're going to stretch off the muscles that are in between your ribs called intercostals. They're going to stretch all these muscles in the front of the chest. And then just slowly start to see if you can move your arms up and around. Now, if that's painful, we never want pain when we're doing anything. So it might be that you just stop there, or maybe you just lift the arms a little bit higher. Okay? We want uncomfortable, we want pulling, but we don't want any pain, especially in the shoulder joints. So just circling the arms, keeping that chin tucked down. So you kind of want to think the chin wants to be lower than the forehead if you can. It might be that you need to put an extra block under your head. So I'm still getting a stretch in the chest, even though I've got block under my head. Good. And then once your hands come back down, you can relax. So if you've got time, a really nice relax that you can do every day is just to lie in this position. It will really help stretch off the front of the chest, which will give the back a little bit of space as well to strengthen. So sometimes you can't really work on back strengthening if the muscles in the front of the body are really stiff. So we're going to come into seated now. Last little exercise. So you can do this on a chair. I'm just sitting on the floor. You can, if you suffer with sciatica, you can sit on a block. It's actually quite nice sitting on a block with crossed legs. It elevates your hips a little bit more. So I'm going to have my left hand on my knee, and I'm going to take my right hand behind the back. In fact, I'm going to take it onto the floor there. You can do this, but sometimes I find the shoulder, like my shoulder's feeling a bit delicate today. So you can have it there, or I'm going to try and reach the floor there. So I'm going to take left ear to left shoulder, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the left hand and just very gently put it onto the side of the head. Now, with this, you don't need to pull very hard. Probably just the weight of your hand in that position, and you're going to feel a stretch. So you don't need to actively snap your neck in half. Just a very gentle engagement. So now reach your arm away. So I'm feeling this all the way down there. I'm just going to stay off for 5 breaths. Try and drop your left shoulder down as well. Good. And then relax that hand down, bring that arm in. Left hand goes out to the side. I'm going to take the right hand over the top. And then as I'm just gently, like I can even use one finger to do that. And I'm reaching away. At the same time, I'm trying to reach. I'm trying to put as much distance between my ear and the hand as I can. Good. Release your hand. Have a little shoulder roll. Good, so we're just going to do one more. I'm going to introduce you to something called Pnf Stretching. Can't remember the whole word. So, right hand's going to go out, going into the left. So now, instead of trying to push your hand down, your head's actually going to push into your hand the other way. So what this does is it tricks the muscle. And then when we come into the stretch, you'll find that there's actually a little bit more legs. So I'm going to put my hand on my head. Now I'm actually trying to get my head back to the starting position, but at the same time I'm just giving it a little bit of pressure. We're going to go hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release, and then try and stretch. Good. So we're going to do that again. So if I had to take my hands away, what my head's doing is pushing into the hand, and the hand is just very gently stopping the head from coming up. So any kind of stretching, always be gentle. So just a gentle, just like engaging. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release and try and stretch. Good. And we do the other side. So left hand goes onto the head. I'm just pulling. Gentle engagement. So I'm pushing head into hand and then stopping the head from coming up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. I'll just try and stretch. If you were doing this with a therapist, they'll probably work a little bit more harder, but with yourself, you don't need to be breaking your neck. So we're going to do one more. So what I'm doing with my head is just pushing gently up as my hand is gently pulling. All we're doing is making these muscles work a little bit. So 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release and then try. There we go. Good. A little bit of Pnf. Pnf is brilliant for like hamstring flexibility and stuff. So awesome. So that is a nice little shoulder neck routine for you. Some of those exercises you can do sat at your desk. We really want to try and strengthen the upper back and stretch off these muscles in the front of the body so that the back of the body can actually squeeze together at the back. Sometimes people are so tight in the front body that there's just, the shoulder blades can't come together at the back because there isn't any length. There's no space in the front of the body for the shoulders to move backwards. So it's really important that we stretch the front and we strengthen the back. So that's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in another one. Take care. Bye.